सतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in for Krishna Book, and we will be starting chapter number 70, rather continuing with chapter number 70. And yeah, those who want to read may raise their hand. So yeah, before that, let's share the link and do kirtan. Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. I really like the dedication. I mean, it really does not matter whether 2 join or 200 join or 2 lakh join. What matters is the dedication. I see very strong dedication among all of you. But there is something missing. There's something wrong, incorrect. I do not accept that. You all know this fact that whenever something is wrong, I would reject it right away. Right? I do not care if the world says negative. Let the world says negative. Yeah. If wrong is there, I would call it wrong. Yeah. So one thing I really am amiss. I do not understand. Most of the time we are like, because examination are starting, because this is happening, because family members are coming, because this is coming, because that is coming. That is why I do not want to join the class. Now there could be two things. One, logistics is such which does not allow you. I mean, the environment is such which does not allow you to join. Right? Suppose you are in a far place where network does not come, you cannot join. That is acceptable. But because you are engaged in something, for that matter, even exam, you are not engaged 24/7, is it? When you have to meet someone, it is not like you connect with them. Suppose they are staying at your place for 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. You connect with them for every minute or every second of those 2 hours. Do you? Can you not join for 5 minutes? Can we not connect in chanting class for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute? Anyone making an excuse that I am doing this and because of that I do not want to join the class, that is, sorry to say, stupid. Just think, final examination is today and your school examination is going, your business examination is going on, right? Something or the other would be happening in this material world. You should not be expecting material world to be perfect. If you expect, then you are a fool. Yeah, we should not foolishly assume that material world is perfect, and because of that, nothing perfectly would happen. Now, for that matter, I do not understand when people make excuses that because of this, I do not want to join. Whatever be your this, whatever be your reason, just remember one thing: anything plus Krishna equals to best, anything minus Krishna equals to worst. So you lived your worst time in your life when you disconnected with Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in. Let's connect. Let's continue with chapter 73. Yeah. So yes, everyone, whoever wants to read may raise their hand. I believe everyone is raising their hand. Who should be given first opportunity? Rashi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Every one of you must understand that anything material has its starting point, growth, maintenance, expansion. That your what is that?
Deterioration.
Deterioration, and finally disappearance. All material bodies are subject to these 6 conditions, and many relative execution
Acquisitions.
accusations accumulated by this body are definitely subject to final destruction. Therefore, no one should be attached to perishable things as long as one in within this material body. He should be very cautious in worldly dealings. The most perfect way of life in this material world is simply to be devoted to my transcendental, to loving service, and to execute honestly the prescribed duty of one's particular position. As far as you are concerned, you all belong to Kshatriya families. Therefore, you should live honestly according to the prescribed duties, be befitting the royal order, and make your citizen happy in all respects. Keep to the standard of Kshatriya life. Do not beget children out of the senseless gratification, but simply take charge of the welfare of the people in general. Everyone take birth in the material world in continuation of his previous life, and thus he is subject to the strengthened law of nature, such as birth and death, distress and happiness, profit and loss. One should not be disturbed One should not be disturbed by duality, but should always be fixed in my devotional service and thus remain balanced in mind as satisfied in all circumstances, considering all things to be given by me. Thus, one can live a very happy and peaceful life, even within this material condition. In other words, one should actually be callous, callous to the material body and its byproducts and should be unaffected by them. One should remain fully satisfied in this interests. One should remain fully satisfied in this interest of the spiritual
Hare
soul.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So let me continue from here. One should remain fully satisfied in the interests of the spirit soul and engage in the service of the super soul. One should engage his mind only in thinking of me. One should simply become my devotee. One should simply worship me. One should offer his respectful obeisances unto me. In this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, everyone. Audible? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. So I was just saying that His Divine Guru Srila Prabhupada always helps us, and today also. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So today also, Divine Guru Srila Prabhupada helped us to understand what is right and what is not just before the class, and it was not prepared, and I did not see what is coming next. So yeah. So yeah, we were just talking about this point that we should be firm in our determination. We should not get bothered by this or that happening in this material world, because material world is always imperfect, and it would never be the case, never, not even in rare exception, that everything would align for your betterment as per your expectation. Because by definition, material world is Maya world. Maya means which is not there, which means you are in illusion, illusionary world. Now, in this illusionary world, whatever you see is temporary. It is never permanent. So when you interact with anyone in this material world, just understand there are two paths to what you are doing. One is spiritual part, second material part. When you are interacting with material part of anyone, it is temporary, right? Benefits are temporary. You get happiness, that is temporary. You get sadness, that is temporary. And there is another part of everything that is happening, is spiritual. Ideally, intelligent person would always see everything is in connection with Krishna. Even these two paths, they would understand that it is in connection with Krishna. But to simplify it, there are two paths. So one is Maya path, second is this one, spiritual path. Now Maya is always illusionary. Krishna says, out of 1,000 among men, one would try to do bhakti. Now, all the 999 is engaged in material world activities. Throughout their life, they are engaged in material world activities. They are just concentrated about this material world, and they would be given birth in material world again. So when you interact with this material world, it is always fallible. You are bound to fail. But there's just one scenario. You want to be saved? Do you want to be saved? There's one scenario. You interact with a spiritual path. You see everything in relation with Krishna. And you interact with those who elevates you. Who would elevate you? Who would elevate you? In this spiritual journey, who would elevate you? Yeah? Who would elevate you? Devotees. Okay. Yeah. Guru, Vaishnav. Right? So Guru and Vaishnav would elevate you. Now, you should always see everything in connection with Guru and Vaishnav. If Guru is not there, Vaishnavas are not there, I'm not talking. I have a lot of things to do. You know what? I'm really very busy. I could not make out time for today. They would be making excuses. They would be just going about things. They are not interested in material world. They do not want material world. They do not want material world. What do they want? They want a spiritual world. They want to connect with a spiritual world. So every action of theirs. Now, it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita again that at the end, and it is not only at the end, if you look deeply, but it is very clearly mentioned at the end, whatever this one, whatever you want to, whatever you are thinking about, you would reach that prakriti, or that state, yeah. So if you are looking for some money, next birth you would be born in money family. But again, money, if only money is what you are looking for, maybe you would be a cashier at bank. Yeah, you would see money, all the time. Uh, uh, Suppose you are born at a place where there's gold mine. Does that guarantee happiness? Does wealth guarantee happiness? Does anything guarantee happiness? On the other hand, if you have Krishna's lotus feet in your mind, could there be anything more precious? Yeah. So what we need to do is engage ourselves completely for Krishna. Yeah. We should not get deviated even for a minute. Every of our action should be only for Krishna. Only. Yeah. There should not be any deviation of any kind, anytime. A lot of times, what would happen? We would think that we are doing bhakti, but we would not be. Once we are getting through all the different things, but not doing bhakti, we are wasting our time, we are wasting our energy, we are wasting our lives. And we think it is my possession. My life is my possession. I can waste it. It is up to me. Please try and understand. A devotee would never think that this life belongs to me. A devotee would think this is an opportunity. This life is an opportunity to become closer to Krishna, to become dear to Krishna. This is an opportunity. This life is an opportunity. Yeah. So would they be wasting their life? Never. Can they waste their life? Never. A devotee can never waste their life. A devotee would always be engaged in the service of Krishna. That is a devotee. Yeah. So let's continue from here. Okay. Hare Krishna, Shweta.
Hare Krishna. After delivering his instructions to the kings and princes, Lord Krishna immediately arranged for their comfort and asked many servants and maidservants to take care of them. Lord Krishna requested Sahadev and son of King Jarasandh to supply all necessities to the kings and show them all respect and honor. In pursuance of the order of Lord Krishna, Sahadev offered them all honor and presented them with ornaments, garments, garlands, and other paraphernalia. After taking their baths and dressing very nicely, the kings appeared happy and gentle. Then they were supplied nice food. Lord Krishna supplied everything for their comfort as befitting their royal positions. Since the kings were so merciful treated by Lord Krishna, they felt great happiness and their bright faces appeared just like the stars in the sky after the end of the rainy season. All nicely dressed and ornamented, their earrings glittering, they were then seated on chariots bedded with gold and jewels and drawn by decorated horses. After seeing that each was taken care of, Lord Krishna, in a sweet voice, asked them to return to their respective kingdoms. By his liberal behavior, unparalleled in the history of the world, Lord Krishna released all the kings who had been in the clutches of Jarasandh, and the kings, being fully satisfied, began to chant his holy name, think of his holy form, and glorify his transcendental pastimes as the supreme personality of Godhead. Thus engaged, they returned to their respective kingdoms. The citizens of their kingdoms were very were greatly pleased to see them return, and when they heard of the kind dealings of Lord Krishna, they were all very happy. The kings began to manage the affairs of their kingdoms in accordance with the instructions of Lord Krishna, and all those kings and their subjects passed their days very happily. This is a very vivid example of a Krishna conscious society. If the people of the world, taking into account their respective material qualities, divide the whole society into four orders for material progress and four orders for spiritual progress, centering these orders on Krishna and following the instructions of Krishna as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the entire human society will undoubtedly be happy. This is the lesson we have to take from this incident.
Hare Krishna. So what we need to do is is to understand one fact. What is that fact? We need to understand that if we choose not to keep Krishna into the center, and not only into the center, into the at the starting, at the middle, and at the end. If the reason of what we are doing, whatever we are doing, is not Krishna, then we are wasting our lives. We could never be happy. The so-called advanced man could never Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So the wait would be endless. We would never find happiness or satisfaction in a society which is not centered around Krishna. We need to work in such a manner that everything is in connection with Krishna. Actually, everything belongs to Krishna only, and everything is in the connection with Krishna only. But sadly, sadly, but sadly, we reject it. We reject this fact that everything is connection with Krishna. Yeah. Independently, we try to enjoy material world. Now, we are not actually enjoying material world. We are actually suffering while thinking that we can enjoy. Now, think of this. Suppose I tell you, right? Rather, it should start correctly. Suppose you have thirst, right? You are thirsty. What are we thirsty for? Love. What are we thirsty for? Care. What are we thirsty for? A lot of things. But yeah, just assume that you are thirsty for water. Right now, I am thirsty for water. Weather. So assume you are thirsty for something, right? There is a strong thirst, and someone tells you, "Are you really thirsty? Ah, where are you?" He says, "I'm 1 kilometer away." Right? And you tell him, call him, and tell him the address. You ask him, "Please come down to my place, and I will give you water." This person believes you, comes down to your place, and asks for water. But when he is about to enter your home, there is a nameplate at every home, right? The nameplate at my home is Maya home, Maya Lok. And I tell him, what have you come for? He said, you just asked me in. You told me that you have water. I asked him to see the nameplate at my home, which read Maya World, Maya, which is not present. So there's water, but that is not present. Can you drink it? Oh, he is frustrated. Our frustration is similar. We get this frustrated in our lives. Happiness? Welcome to Maya world. Do you get happiness? Huh? Money? Do you get satisfaction from money? Fame? Do you get satisfaction from fame? Why were you searching for this? Actually, this is Maya world. This had to be this way only. Yeah. So there are just two ways. One is Krishna way, and second is Maya way. If you like Maya, then you can keep on visiting such places where you would be offered that, yeah, you will be getting this. You would believe that you would be getting that, but actually, no, not this time. So yeah, that's the situation. Do you want to live that life? If you really want to live that life, Maya will live there for you. If not, then something else, not Maya. Yeah. So what we have to do is we have to surrender on to Krishna. Krishna is the only restorer of all happiness that we could think of. Yeah. There's no other respite to our happiness than Krishna. If you want to be happy, you have to take shelter onto Krishna. The problem with us is we get deviated all the time. Krishna checks us. Krishna gives this, 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 and this through Maya. And then he checks us. Do you really want me? We think that we want Krishna, but actually we do not want him. We want something or the other material world. And if you choose not to get Krishna, no one can help you. Yeah. Yes, Anshika, no one can help. Correct? Hare Krishna. Please continue.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please continue.
After this causing the annihilation of Jarasandha by Bhimsena, and after being properly honored by Sahadeva, the son of Jarasandha, Lord Krishna, accompanied by Bhimsena and Arjuna, returned to the city of Hastinapura. When they reached the precincts of Hastinapura, they blew their respective conch shells, and by hearing the sound vibrations and understanding who was arriving, everyone immediately became cheerful. But the enemies of Krishna, upon hearing the conch shells, were very sorry. The citizens of Hastinapura felt their hearts became joyful simply by hearing the vibration of Krishna's conch shell, because they could understand that Jarasandha had been killed. Now, the performance of the Ratsaya sacrifice by King Yudhishthira was almost certain. Bhimsen, Arjuna, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, arrived before King Yudhishthira and offered their respects to the king. King Yudhishthira attentively heard the narration of the killing of Jarasandha and the setting free of the kings. He also heard of the tactics adopted by Krishna to kill Jarasandha. The king was naturally affectionate toward Krishna, but after hearing the story, he became even more bound to him in love. Tears of ecstasy glided from his eyes, and he was so stunned that he was almost unable to speak. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of 73rd chapter of Krishna. Lord Krishna returns to the city of Hastinapura. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Look, the problem with us is this. Let me tell you. Fake smile and fake life both apparently look amazing. Fake smile and fake life both apparently look amazing. So, what do we know in this material world? We interact with people. We show that we are happy. We are not concerned. We show that we care, but we are not concerned. We show that we are interested, but we are not interested. We show that we care, but we do not care. Just see how things are. Now, many of us would be seeing what is happening in Russia and Ukraine, right? Many of us would be wasting hours again and again, and news channels would be pasting the same content again and again, and we would be seeing that. We would be seeing what is happening in the elections, and again we would see that. We would see, what happened? Now, what is happening? Similarly, we want to know what is happening in our relative's house. We want to know what is happening in our neighbor's house. We want to know what is happening in the neighboring city, neighboring place. We want to know what is happening in others' businesses. We want to know what is happening in our maybe employees or staff's place. We want to know each and every minute detail of whatever is happening around. But are we concerned? We show that we are concerned, but are we concerned? Are we really concerned? We show fake concern. Again, please, let me recall this in Bhagavatam class. We will talk about this. In Bhagavatam, we have been talking some very nice things. Are we really concerned? Are we concerned of what is happening around? Suppose more people die in this war. Are we really concerned? No, we are not concerned. We just show that we are concerned. This is a show that we are making. This is a fake narrative that we are building. Sometimes fooling others, sometimes fooling ourselves. Yeah. So just think how beautifully we cheat each and everyone, including ourselves. What do we get from this? Nothing. That's the most dreadful part. I mean, you are independent. You can take whatever decisions you want to. You can go anywhere. You can live any life. But whatever you are doing, you want something out of it, right? You do not want zero out of whatever you are doing. But that is what you are getting here. Zero. A complete zero. Nothing. You get nothing. From this material world, you get nothing. you get a big 0. This is Maya world. This is like Maya calling you and asking for water, which is not there. Why are we doing this? Only in illusion we would do this. Yeah. So again, whoever says 5 plus 3, that too is illusion only. Illusion that your senses would be gratified, satisfied. It never happens. It has never happened till this point. So how we should be living our life? And in that comes the question, and this is how, where we started from. Yudhishthir Maharaj was doing Rajasuya Yajna. Does every one of you remember this? He was doing Rajasuya Yajna, and this was Jarasandha was a big deterrent, and he was stopping. Krishna went and killed. Krishna asked Bhima to kill, but yeah. So this is the situation. The situation is that Rajasuya Yajna used to happen in those times not to get some opulence out of it, not to get big kingdom. Some people fool themselves to think that Rajasuya Yajna is done to get kingdom. No, this is not true. This is not done for kingdom. This is not done for expansion. Can any one of you help me why Rajasuya Yajna used to get performed? What is the reason for Rajasuya Yajna? Why was Yudhishthir Maharaj doing Rajasuya Yajna? What is the reason? There must be some reason. Why would Yudhishthir Maharaj do it? Yes. To have association with Krishna? Huh? Would every king do Rajasuya Yajna to get association with Krishna? Huh? Yes. Why was Rajasuya Yajna done? Why was Rajasuya Yajna done? So Rajasuya Yajna is not done to get some kingdom. As against everyone who thinks that it is done for only kingdom. No. Rajasuya Yajna is done to establish dharma. Now, kings like Jarasandha would be dealing with his subjects in such a way where he would be establishing irreligion. Yeah, honest, pious king, they would Jarasandha out of his power. Yes, Asura is one who uses his opulence
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, happening again and again. Can't help it. Parikshit Maharaj is pure devotee, and Rajasuya Yajna is done. Yeah, Rajasuya Yajna is done so that uh, 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 Parikshit Maharaj, yeah, Parikshit Maharaj, this one, words are followed. It is not done. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It is not done to just expand kingdom. It is to get them follow Krishna's word. Now, following Krishna's word is more important. Yeah, everything else is just not important in lights. Following Krishna's word is of supreme importance. Rajasuya Yajna is done so that everyone follows Krishna's words. Because if Krishna's word is not followed, then we are uh, asking irreligion. Society is going through irreligion. Yes. So, what we need to do is to follow this path, is to accept Krishna's authority, is to accept Krishna's associates' authority, and to work for Krishna. Yes. That's the reason why Krishna does all his associate does would do all his pastimes. Yeah, just to establish what Krishna wants to establish. In fact, their only work is to serve Krishna. In fact, our only work is to serve just our Guru. Yeah, that's how we end chapter 73. Now connecting with starting with chapter 74. Now this is Shishupal. Yes, we would read just 3-4 paragraphs for today. Anyone who wants to read may raise their hand. Okay. Shweta, Hare Krishna, please continue.
Hare Krishna. Chapter 74, The Deliverance of Shishupal. King Yudhishthira became very happy after hearing the details of the Jarasandha episode, and he spoke as follows. My dear Krishna, O eternal form of bliss and knowledge, all the exalted directors of the affairs of this material world, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and King Indra, are always eager to receive and carry out orders from you, and whenever they are fortunate enough to receive such orders, they immediately take them and keep them on their heads. O Krishna, you are unlimited, and although we sometimes think of ourselves as royal kings and rulers of the world and become puffed up over our paltry positions, we are very poor in heart. Actually, we are fit to be punished by you, but the wonder is that instead of punishing us, you so kindly and mercifully accept our orders and carry them out properly. We are all much we are all very much surprised that your lordship can play the part of an ordinary human being, but we can understand that you are performing these activities just like a dramatic artist. Your real position is always exalted, exactly like that of the sun, which always remains at the same temperature during both the time of its rising and the time of its setting. Although we feel the difference in temperature between the rising and the setting sun, the temperature of the sun never changes. You are always transcendentally equipoised, neither pleased nor disturbed by any condition of material affairs. You are the supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, and for you there are no relativities. My dear Madhav, you are never defeated by anyone. Material distinctions, this is me, this is you, this is mine, this is yours, are all conspicuous by dint of their absence in you. Such distinctions are visible in the lives of everyone, even the animals, but pure devotees are freed from these false distinctions. Since these distinctions are absent in your devotees, they cannot possibly be present in you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So everything belongs to Krishna alone, right? Now, devotees would see everything is in connection with Krishna. A non-devotee would see everything is related with this material world. Everything is related to them. Yeah, that's the distinction between a devotee and a non-devotee. A devotee would always see things in connection with Krishna. A devotee would always carry out the orders given by Krishna, given by Guru, given by Vaishnavas. Yeah, so they would be carrying out orders. But a non-devotee would not. Hmm? A non-devotee would think, this is me, this is mine, this is yours, this is theirs. But a devotee would see with equal vision. We were talking last night about equal vision. A devotee would see with equal vision everything in connection with Krishna. Hmm? Yes, Hare Krishna. Anshika, Hare Krishna, please continue.
After after satisfying Krishna in this way, King Yudhishthira arranged to perform the Rajya sacrifice. He invited all the qualified Brahmanas and sages to take part and appointed them to different positions and priests in charge of the sacrificial arena. He invited the most expert Brahmanas and sages, whose names are as follows: Krishna Dvaipayana, Vyasdeva, Bharadwaja, uh, Sumantu,
Sumantu,
Gaut, Sumantu, Gautama, Asita, Vaishistha,
Vasishtha,
Ya, Vasishtha, uh, Yavna, Kanva, Maitreya, Kavasa, Krita, Vishwamitra, Vamadeva, Sumati, Jaimini, Kratu, how to pronounce this?
Pehla,
Pela, Parasara, Garga,
Parashar,
Parashar, Garga, Vaisampayana, Atharva, Kashyapa, Damya, Parshurama, Shukracharya, Asuri, Vit, Vit, Vitihotra, Madhuchanda, Virasena, and Akravarana. Besides all these Brahmanas and sages, he invited such respectful old men as Dronacharya, Bhishma, the grandfather of the Kurus, Kripacharya, and Dhritarashtra. He also invited all the sons of Dhritarashtra, headed by Duryodhana, and also the great devotee Vidura. Kings from different parts of the world, along with their ministers and secretaries, were also invited to see the great sacrifice performed by King Yudhishthira, and the citizens, comprising learned Brahmanas, chivalrous Shastriya,
Kaivalras.
well-to-do Vaishyas, and faithfully Sudras all visited the ceremony. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So uh, uh, now Rajasuya Yagya is getting performed, and sages are called, Kshatriyas are called. Yeah. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, let's continue. Hare Krishna. Shweta, would you continue? Or should I?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Brahmana, priests, and sages in charge of the sacrificial ceremony constructed the sacrificial arena as usual with a blow of gold, and they initiated King Yudhishthira as the performer of the great sacrifice in accordance with Vedic rituals. Long years earlier, when Varuna had performed a similar sacrifice, all the sacrificial utensils had been made of gold. Similarly, in the Rajasuya sacrifice of King Yudhishthira, all the utensils required for the sacrifice were golden. Present by the invitation of King Yudhishthira to participate in the great sacrifice were all the exalted demigods, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Indra, the king of heaven, accompanied by their associates, as well as the predominating deities of the higher planetary systems, including Gandharva Loka, Siddha Loka, Jan Lok, Tapolok, Naglok, Yakshalok, Rakshas Lok, Pakshi Lok, and Charan Lok, as well as famous kings and their queens. All the respectable sages, kings, and demigods who assembled there agreed unanimously that King Yudhishthira was quite competent to take the responsibility of performing the Rajasuya sacrifice. No one was in disagreement on this fact. Everyone thoroughly knew the position of King Yudhishthira because he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. No accomplishment was extraordinary for him. They learned Brahmanas and priests saw to it that the sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthira was performed in exactly the same way as it had been in bygone ages by the demigod Varuna. According to the Vedic system, whenever there is an arrangement for sacrifice, the members participating are offered the juice of the soma plant, which is a kind of life-giving beverage. On the day for extracting the som juice, King Yudhishthira very respectfully received the special priest who had been engaged to detect any mistake in the formalities of the sacrificial procedure. The idea is that Vedic mantras must be enunciated perfectly and chanted with the proper accent. If the priests who are engaged in this business commit any mistake, the checker or referee priest immediately corrects the Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just. Yeah.
Proper assent. If the priests who are engaged in business commit any mistake, the checker or referee priest immediately corrects the procedure, and thus the ritualistic performances are perfectly executed. Unless perfectly executed, a sacrifice cannot yield the desired result. In this age of Kali, there is no such learned Brahman or priest available. Therefore, all such sacrifices are forbidden. The only sacrifice recommended in the Shastras is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, what we need to do in this age of Kali is that we need to chant Hare Krishna mantra. There is no other sacrifice available for us. In different ages, for different purposes, different sacrifices were used to get performed. But in this age of Kali, everything is distorted, and we have just one escape, one solution. Whatever problem you or me might be having, we have just one solution. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So yes, continuing two more paragraphs, and we will end. After another important procedure is that the most exalted personality of the assembly of such sacrificial ceremony is first offered worship. After all the arrangements were made for Yudhishthira's sacrifice, the next consideration was who should be worshipped first in the ceremony. This particular ceremony is called Agra Puja. Agra means first, Puja means worship. The Agra Puja is similar to the election of the president. In the sacrificial assembly, all the members were very exalted. So some proposed to elect one person as the preferred candidate, perfect candidate for accepting Agra Puja, and others proposed someone else. When the matter remained undecided, Sadeva began to speak in favor of Lord Krishna. He said, Lord Krishna, the best among the members of the Yadu dynasty and the protector of his devotees, is the most exalted personality in this assembly. Therefore, I think that he should, without any objection, be offered the honor of being worshipped first. Um, Although demigods such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and many other exalted personalities are also present in this assembly, no one can be equal or greater than Krishna in terms um, of time, space, riches, strength, reputation, wisdom, renunciation, or any other consideration. Anything considered an opulence is fully present in Krishna. As an individual, soul is the basic principle of the growth of his material body. Krishna is the super soul of the cosmic manifestation. All Vedic rituals, ceremonies such as performance of sacrifice and the offering oblation to the fire, the chanting of the Vedic hymns, and the practice of mystic yoga are meant for realizing Krishna. So whatever we do, objective is what? Krishna. Whatever we perform, it is done for only Krishna, no one else. Yes, whether one follows the path of fruitive activities or the path of philosophical speculation, the ultimate destination is Krishna. All bona fide methods of self-realization are meant for understanding Krishna. Ladies and gentlemen, it is superfluous to speak about Krishna because everyone of you exalted personalities knows the supreme Brahman, Lord Krishna, for whom there is no material difference between body and soul, between energy and energetic, and between one part of the body and another. Since everyone is part and parcel of Krishna, there is no qualitative difference between Krishna and all living entities. Everyone is emanating from Krishna's energy, material and spiritual. Krishna's energy are like the heat and light of fire. There's no difference between the qualities of heat and light for the fire itself. So, Sahadev came forth to propose Krishna's name, that Agra Puja should be done for Krishna. Yeah. So we would read once again this paragraph when the matter remained undecided. We would read once again next class. Stopping at this. Anyone who has any question may ask. Yeah. Do we have any kind of question? Any question for you, anyone? Hare Krishna. Do we have any question? No? Should we do Vaishnav Pranam Mantra and end? Huh? Eight. Okay. No questions? Sure. Okay. So we are starting Vaishnav Pranam Mantra, and who would do? Anshika? Would you?
Panchakalpatarubhyascha
Panchakalpatarubhyascha
Vipasindubhya eva cha
Sindhubhya eva cha
Titanam pavanebhyo
Patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की
जय
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय
भगवद गीता की
जय
श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय
Jai
सभी भक्तों की
जय
Jai
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Rama Hare
राम
Rama
राम
Rama
हरे हरे
Rama Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्णा कृष्णा
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare Rama Hare
राम
Rama
राम
Rama
हरे हरे
Rama Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
राम
Hare Rama
राम
Hare Rama
हरे
Rama
हरे
Rama Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna. There is one question which is there in the chat. I think. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, why does Gaumata does not eat their own food, that is ghee, milk? Why would anyone eat their own food? Huh? It is made out of their own body. Why would they eat? Cows are actually devotees are Merciful, always merciful. Yeah, that's the quality of a devotee. They are always merciful. Now, cows, out of her own mercy, she gives away all these opulence. We do not deserve it, but cows anyway gives it. Yeah, so that's mercy of cow. That is mercy of cow. We do not deserve, but still cow gives it. Yeah, so cows gives it because we could benefit from it. A devotee always use their life for the service of devotee and Krishna. Yeah, a cow perfectly proves that. Yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. A cow never use anything for their own good well-being. Yes, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Anyone has any other question? No. Hmm. Okay. Ending at that we would be we are trying to do chanting videos. We would complete today or tomorrow. If no flaw is there, if Krishna wishes. Thereafter, we would go to Bhagavad Gita and we would complete that Bhagavad Gita as well. Thank you everyone for joining. Uh, yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, in which language Bhagavad Gita would be? Srila Prabhupada taught in English. Subtitle would be in Hindi. If we all have Marathi people, Marathi devotees who can see through what is mistakes, yeah, we could have Marathi subtitle as well, Bengali subtitle as well. So, if you are there, if you could read properly Bengali or Marathi or whatever, and if you can edit, then definitely we can make read a subtitle in that language. But original video would always be in English because Srila Prabhupada taught in English. It is compressed form of Srila Prabhupada and the content is complete. However, it is condensed. I know it looks ironical. It is not possible, but it is. Technology has made us enable to do things which we could not even imagine. That's reality. Yeah. So ending at that and anyone who has any doubt, any question, they may ask me. And yeah, if you are free and if you want to do some work, we have a lot of work. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.